pretty a bad birth, and so they don't only have like weeks or months to live, and they're gonna die. So those happen too, and so there's a weird situation where it's like, where do you stop the suffering? Okay, we know everything. Looking at this, they're just gonna suffer, and there are times where the wife will sit in the hospital and she'll sit there for 4 or 6 months, and the other family members don't need to know. All the other family members can just shut the fuck up, and the wife can sit there and be with her child for 4 or 6 months, and sometimes with terminal births. And so there's a weird space of like, hey, do we stop the suffering of the child and we intervene, or do we just let the mother make the decision?
So I'm tired. I'm gonna squat here.
See what I'm saying? But rightfully so, mother gave birth to the child. It's her body. She makes the determination. She makes the call. So if a wife needs to sit there and we already know it's a terminal birth, and the child's only going to live for 3 months and die, or it's going to live for a few hours and die, or it's going to live for a few weeks and die, we can determine all that. They are maternity wards. They're so good what they do. But rightfully so, women should have the bodily choice because they gave birth to this child for 9 months or 10 months, right? Pains through labor. With the percentage chance of their body being destroyed, they have the right to make the determination for those two lives. And at no one point should a husband have any kind of ownership or custody of the child unless the wife has, or unless the person who gave birth, because there might come a time where you might need to write in the legislation, the person who gives birth, because there might come a time where men could have a baby and bring it to birth. There is a possibility of that. And so, but the determination is to be the person that gave birth. And nowhere should the other partner have any say whatsoever. Because for a woman, it's 9 months plus the percentage chance variable of danger of her destroying her uterus or her waist or her body or dying. So then the mother or the birther should have full basic custody rights of both of those lives. And nowhere should the partner or the man have any say so whatsoever. Like going forward, like that's a better policy. See what I'm saying? Because women, on top of that, have a set amount of eggs. So that alone, you need to create legislation and policy to protect their eggs and protect women. They have a set amount of eggs. Protect their rights. And right now, their rights are still being abused by medical companies, buying the placenta away from women. Medical companies should be paying women for the placenta, 100%. You need to make that state and federal law. And it should be a lot of fucking money, because guess what they're doing with the placenta? They're doing, what's it called? Stem cell research. So stem cell research is generating billions of dollars. That means millions of dollars should go to women. People are like, what? Women have a set amount of eggs. Okay? You can count it because it's, what is it? Usually they ovulate at different times. So it'll give you 1 month, it'll give you 2 months, it'll give you 3 months, and women know this. And they kind of just keep to themselves. But when you see women, that's your first sign that something's wrong internally with your body. It means you're exposed to toxins. So if you're not ovulating every 30 days, let's say something happens, right? And it's like 2 months or 3 months, and you check and you're like, well, I'm not pregnant, it could be something else. That could be a sign your body's being attacked or trying to save itself, or you're under some sort of toxins. If there's any kind of irregularity with your ovulation.
I just don't know how to
Does that help?
this, so.
And that's when you need to go do a checkup or a health check or blood work. And you just explain to the provider, hey, this is happening, hey, I think something's wrong. And they're like, whoa, what's happening? And they go check, because you don't know if it's an overexposure to radiation. It could be at your job or a vehicle or being inside a site. Being inside of a building could be emitting so much radiation that it could be messing up your body. You might not know. Because you don't walk around with the Geiger counter. Okay? What's happening is I do fear proper safeties aren't in place. You see it today. And I'll tell you right now, I saw it across the military. And why I saw it across the military? Because I took a Geiger counter. We had these scanning devices as cops to check people's IDs. And you know what made this so powerful? It'll show you if it's a fake ID or a real ID. Like someone who had like a fake driver license would be cut shut. Fake driver license will come through the gate. It'll look real. When we scan it, it'll go through the database and it'll show the exact image and it'll say if it's fake or real. And there are times you find a fake driver license, you have to tell the individual and the person, hey, they can walk on a base. You have to turn your car away and drive their direction. And it just happens with the airmen. So we're doing security with the cops. It's at night during the holidays. And it's like a Thursday or something or a Friday night. We're doing at the gate. You know what's going to happen. It's like 4 a.m. like clockwork. 4 a.m. Saturday. They start coming back from the club. when you start seeing vehicles that don't have any military signal on it, you know it's someone that's supposed to be on base. But then we check this dude's ID, scan it, fake. You tell him, hey, your lady friend who's military, she needs to walk or needs to call someone to come pick her up because to go from the gate back to the dorms is really fucking far. Welcome to Kansas. It's a massive grasslands. Like it's a couple miles. That's what people don't understand. Where the gate is at to where your dorms are at are like 1, 2, 2. It's like 2.5 miles or something like that. It's like 2.5 miles. It might be 3 miles. It's a distance. So this lady got out and she started walking. Another Air Force cat lady, maybe she had a boyfriend she's trying to bring back. She starts walking because, I don't know, something happened. She didn't call her friend, whatever. She's walking back. And the dude, he has an illegal driver license in his like car, their Corvette. We just, you know, our guns are at our side. And we're just like, we stand in front of his vehicle as he's driving. And we just direct him out. Yeah, sorry about that. And so, but those scanning guns. Those readers. They were IR readers. They took the same tech that they used to scan over kilometers and they brought the tech down to a smaller level. But someone fucked up because they should have did measurements on, hey, is this safe to be shooting radiation this close to someone's hand or body? And it wasn't because I took a Geiger counter and I checked it, and it's like 4 times the limit. Well, 400%. So 4 times the limit. Everyone look at it of radiated exposure. I kept thinking, man, but it's such a low amount that I was like, what? How many times is this being fired? Basically, it's like, well, how many vehicles are you checking each day? And I was like, well, it's not every single gun, it's not every single soldier. Only an 8-hour period. So everyone working an 8-hour shift, or a 7-hour shift, you get an hour lunch. You have a 7-hour shift. Okay, how many times are you being exposed to radiation? So I was just like, it'll vary. There could be times where there's 4 hours go by, no one comes to the gate, and there's times where it depends on if it's the morning shift, you know, people getting off work, people going to the gym. All of a sudden you're like, how many IDs are we checking? And then it's just the idea of how many times are we scanning this gun? How many times are we being exposed to radiation, like too much radiation? And I was just like, but it didn't dawn on me because I kept thinking, well, I'm in the Air Force, can't complain. Like you literally can't complain. The moment you sign your contract for 6 years, it's like you just, you know, you shift your whole life to the Air Force, and then your butt is secondary. It is not until you get out of the military that you see military members then sue the government to be like, hey, bro, you exposed it to chemicals. Hey, bro, you exposed it to radiation. Because when you're in, I'll tell you this right fucking now, there is no recourse. Like when you're in the Air Force, right, and you see like bad shit, and you try to say something, I'll explain it really simple. We would have like good people, right, but then officers would just like disappear. And the reason we explain that is like, it's getting bad. It's getting bad. There's, you know, you lose officers because you do a flag ceremony. So as military cops, I know it sounds kind of weird, but we go to the ceremonies. Everyone else is working. So like you're in the Air Force, and we all gather. There's about like 180 of us, and we march out for an airman that died either on base or off base. So the flag ceremony is we're all geared up with our raincoats. It's always storm and rain in Kansas. There's like 180 of us, and we march as cops to the center of the base. And then they do a flag ceremony for a fallen airman that was either worked on the base or knows the base. Airwoman or airman. But we're like the only ones out there. So it just feels like everyone else on the base is like doing their jobs, but they go off and party downtown. But like the real shit, like every time an airman dies, it's all the cops and the firefighters were marching out, doing a flag ceremony for an airman that dies that was on this base. And our base is massive, you know, we have like thousands of people, whatever. But just every time someone dies, that was working on base, not even working on base, we're going out with the flag ceremony. But imagine it's Kansas, so you get exposed to the weather elements. There are times where, like, I think someone had passed away and it was snowing. And we did our jobs at the highest level. We went out and we shoveled these massive snow, like back-breaking snow. Like we're talking, man, one time it was 3 feet. But when you realize an airman had passed away, none of that fucking matters. I think if you were like to tell somebody, hey man, go shovel 3 feet of snow. We need to get everyone to march out. And you know what was great? Every single cop that rolled in that morning went back inside, grabbed a shovel or grabbed another shovel, or started grabbing shovels and non-shovels, and it started snowing too. So first it was like 13 of us, and then it was like 20 of us, and then as everyone was coming into work, they were like, "Holy shit, there's 60 cops. We're all shoveling snow," and they just started getting to work. They park their cars, they get out, at a brilliant unit. Well, I came from the #1 Air Force base, #1 military unit, and all the Air Force. And next thing you know, I look around and it looks like my whole unit's out here, and we're shoveling snow 3 feet deep because an airman died. And none of that fucking mattered. The only thing that mattered was move this fucking snow. And the sun was out bright. It was weird. It was like a joyful moment where like our whole cop unit's like in unison. And everyone's happy. Then I realize what we're doing is we're doing a flag ceremony because no airman died. And the sun's shining bright and the snow is crisp. Happened a lot, even in basic. That probably alarmed people. Basic training in the Air Force. At least once a week we had a flag ceremony because we were losing airmen. I guess at some point I just looked at it as just chaos, but it wasn't that complex. It was more like when you're in basic, there's a lot of chaos, and you're trying to round everything together and shape your men and women. Well, first we break every person down. Sorry, but in basic military training across all our basic military, we take a human being and we break them down mentally, and then we build them back up, and we turn them into soldiers. But at the same time, I noticed it was a little chaos because at least once a week we were losing airmen. That was a gruesome. There's a transition period where the Air Force went from like 8-week basic, where they just hammer you down 24/7, and they realized, okay, let's do 10 weeks and give them 2 days off. So it's really 5 days of just like you're being broken down, and you get 2 days like respite. Like your Saturday, Sunday was like to yourself. Call your family, loved ones, hang out, get some ice cream, chill, and then Monday through Friday back in basic was like you getting eaten alive, breaking you down mentally, chaos. I actually probably can't even really describe basic until you watch basic. But you're just like you're in the pit. When you're basic, you're in the pit. There's no way out. And then people getting injured, shipped out. People are dying, getting shipped out. A lot of people are getting injured, getting shipped out. A lot of ankle injuries, a lot of broken arms, broken wrists, broken ankles. Once you get a broken ankle, broken fist, you're out of the military. You just get medically discharged, shipped out. Not shipped out like you Collins, where they shipped out like, oh, couldn't make it. They shipped them out. Yeah. Super sad too. You'll see special forces that were injured, and they can't be special forces anymore. So the Air Force is like, well, if you can heal up, then you can become a cop. But then they're too gung ho and they try to become cops, and they're still injured. They get injured again. I saw that 3 times in basic, 3 times in a real short period, a couple weeks, because like they're special forces. Dudes were still injured. The Air Force said, well, bro, you can be medically discharged from the Air Force, but they were so gung ho. They were like, we still want to be in, so they became cops, and I saw them, but they're still injured. And they're doing too much, and they re-injure again during our cop training, or even just do basic. It was like brutal. So the main point is you see people disappearing. So even in the regular Air Force, it's such a grind. You realize it's chaos. People that were leaving, a lot of them were getting medically discharged. You don't find out till after when your friends tell you, like, yeah, I'm out because of back surgery. Yo, I'm out because of foot surgery. Yo, I'm out because of ankle surgery. Yo, I'm out because of wrist surgery. I was like, fuck, bro, because you're in the military, right? You're a cop. And then all of a sudden, just people start disappearing. But it's because, they're getting injured. You don't realize the chaos that they're getting injured because you just focus forward. You're like, all right, here's my cop job, here's my friends, here's my family. But then just slowly you realize all your friends, well, they're not retiring, they're just getting injured and they're falling by the wayside. Back surgery. It was like, I've seen 3 different cops have back surgeries and they're out. I've seen 3 different cops have knee surgeries and they're done with the military. I had multiple cops have brain injuries and they're out. But I didn't even realize it because you're sitting there and you're young and everyone older It's just they get injured and they fall out from the military. They get injured and they fall out from the military. Like, holy shit. You don't realize it till you're out. When you're in, you're just like you're young. You're with another group of young people, and every year you get more young recruits. So there's just a wave of like young people behind you. You're kind of being pushed forward, and everyone kind of ranks up. And then you don't realize it till you see it. Basically, anyone that's older, just the grind of the job, being in the Air Force, their injuries are what's taking them out. They get to 10 years injured, you're kicked out. Oh, you're 13 years injured, you get kicked out. It's not a choice. It's literally like the Air Force would make the decision. Now, there are times where a person get injured and they tell them, you want to stay in, you want to get out? And they're like, I want to stay in. So they stay in. But there are times where a person is injured so bad, like, dude, like three cops that I saw had back surgeries. Air Force is like, you're done. And then they're so gung-ho and they love their nation, it's dreadful. It's like they love serving, they love being cops their whole life, and then this injury, they're 13 years in or 17 years in, they're 3 years away from retiring, injury, and then they're forced to get out. It's brutal. I've seen that. Mentally devastating. People can't describe it. Imagine you're 13 years in and your goal, your job, everything was going great. You're a cop, you're gung-ho, you're blue collar, you're man or woman, it doesn't matter because I've seen this for all the demographics. I saw it for dude 3 years in. I saw this all-American Missouri dude. 3 years in, he was like Captain America, bro. Like he was like, and then just broken leg, done with the Air Force. But he was like, we were both cops at the same time. Everyone liked him. Good guy. I think he had like a wife and he had like a wife. Didn't have kids. He had a wife. Good guy. Broken leg as a cop. Boom. And then you're out. The Air Force basically says you were a broken leg. You were medically discharged. But this dude was like 3 years in. Loved the Air Force. Loved the military. All-American dude. Just, you know what I mean? I saw it and it's just devastating. Same thing too. I've seen people 13, 14, 15, they're like 15 years in, back surgery. They're 5 years away from retiring. But they're not ready to retire. You saw that effect. That's brutal. Like you're 15 years in, not 15 years in, but someone else is 15 years in, back surgery. Air Force is like, you're out, medical discharge. But they want to be in, they want to stay in, they want 5 more years to get retired. But they're not there yet. And you saw that devastate them. And for us, you're probably thinking, what? Like, I can't do so much. I'm only an airman. My pay is so low. They give you sorry, but airman, when you join enlisted, you're going up from like the bottom of rank. So, when you're an airman at the time and you see this, you don't have any kind of money. I can't help them financially. I'm just an airman. And people are like, how do you pay for, well, the Air Force pays for your rent. So if you're a family and you live off base, the Air Force pays for the rental of the house, whatever. They give you a housing voucher, your BIH or your base income housing, however they break it down. So your BIH, or BAH is like base allowance housing. BAH. The BAH, you just use that and it pays for your apartment. It's like a voucher basically. So like, I don't pay for my apartment, the Air Force pays for my apartment. But when you're an airman, you don't get a lot of money. So you try to save some money here or there. But I can't support a big ass family. See what I'm saying? I can't support 3 people on my one airman income. So he's basically like, but your family, your cousins, gotta help you, bro. You know what I mean? That's devastating, bro. You know what I mean? Like, nothing I could do. Just one airman on airman salary. You see someone that's your friend fall by the wayside. I know nowhere to help. And my family's poor too, so they can't help me. So I'm just like, bro, your family, your cousin gotta help you, man. You know what I mean? Like, I can't feed 3 people on airman salary when you're just like you're starting out. I don't have it. Not feasible, not possible. And like I said, I've seen a devastating career cops in the Air Force that were doing their jobs well. Cops on the civilian side cause all cops have a bad rep. Basically, our military cops were squared away. We're the number 1 Air Force base, we're the number 1 military unit, number 1 cop unit. So there's that too. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I guess that makes sense. It's kind of fun. But the chaos. Maybe it's just the grind. It's too much. That's what makes it tough, I think. I still want to serve my country. Thought about it, but going back into the grind, I think about all the injuries that I have now. Some of them from the Air Force. So I'm just thinking also like, man, if I go back in the Air Force or go back in the military, it's another grind, and I'm older, and so it's just like definitely gonna get injured like everyone else. Like I'm already injured right now. And I'm just like, I have to sue the VA hospital for medical negligence, which takes up even more work. I call it negative hours. Negative hours are me wasting hours that I don't want to spend finding the right medical Negligence lawyers are called negative hours. It's just every time. Oh, here's another negative 4 hours. As I'm just searching for the rights. Medical malpractice lawyers, medical negligence lawyers too. It's just like, I just call it negative hours. It's just waste of time. Yeah. So I'm also trying to decompress the back too. So put the hands on the chair and just put all the weight onto the hands. Keep the feet lightly on the floor. You can also lift the feet. Just try to decompress the spine as best I can. I'm warm now, but I still feel like. Huh? What did she just? I had water way too low. I had her on volume like 15.
Okay.
Wait,
Put
is she
shit,
going too far?
Shit in the box.
Okay, steak, bananas, corn, spinach, nice. Is that smoked Gouda? Hold on. Did Water just buy and wine? Could trust the wine and the eggs?
Wait. I should put the freaking. Oh my god! My drink!
Is it okay? Did it spill out?
Yeah, this is the fucking saddest Costco run.
That's enough eggs for a lot of people. She must love eggs. She must love eggs. Wait, why'd she put it in the bag? Oh, because the scooter only goes so far.
Okay, the freaking marshmallow.
Marshmallow.
And
the wine.
Kimchi.
Kimchi's good too.
Oh,
actually, everything she's eating is really good. The corn is good. What you do with the corn? You actually have to dry out the corn. That's what people kind of forget.
Cool.
If you're gonna keep your corn, you need to. You need to get the corn off the cob, and you can just slice it off with a knife.
And then
you have to put it on a sheet, or a paper sheet onto a metal tray, and you gotta dehydrate corn.
Not bad.
And you want to store the corn, this dry corn, into jars.
Very well. I'm so happy I got this box.
So yeah.
Literally.
Guess you do with dry corn. You can take dry corn and add any kind of oil to it and turn it into popcorn. You can do it as long as you have a pot with a lid. Usually do it with the Dutch oven. So check this out. You can even change up the oils and make them just better. You can take coconut oil with like easy coconut oil. Do some rice wine, and then sprinkle in some brown sugar, and then throw the popcorn on, and the coconut oil with the rice wine with the brown sugar. You do popcorn like that in a Dutch oven. It's an excellent treat. And then when it's done, you can sprinkle on some sugar, or sprinkle on some brown sugar, or sprinkle on some salt. That's a little bit healthier. No offense to butter. I think butter is just too heavy. I think butter is too messy. But I think you just sprinkle on a little bit of sugar, like a pinch of sugar, or a pinch of salt. It's incredible.
Yeah, we can do this. It's only 1, 2, 3. 3 boxes. 3 boxes.
You can also probably do like a garlic cheese too. If you do like a dried Parmesan with
this purple thing is
some dried garlic, dried Parmesan, and dried parsley on top of the popcorn. It'd also make a really not light, healthy, vibrant snack. That's just cleaner for the body.
Wait a minute.
But ultimately, and then to reseason them again, make a type of cornmeal. You'd want to take the corn and soak it for the day, and then express it, and then grind it together, or just grind everything.
So they're doing it right there.
What's happening?
Well, I guess that's better. Okay, let me get a car.
Bring out that what?
Let me get a car here. There were cars on the street. True.
Mangrove says.
True, this is the force information.
What does that mean?
Okay. Get a car. Should be just one entrance, right? Oh my god. 置比较好。这边，你知道吗？
这个下面是吧？你进河的中间路好了。
中间路吗？
中间路。
朱建路。
啊，你从那边中间路，你从那边过来就可以了。这个路它是一个跑道。
啊，可以啊，我今天下来就是在这，但是我忘记是什么名字了。
雅乐路。
雅乐路是吗？
对。
好，谢谢。The guy said, "You should go the other side." Hell no. Hell no, I'm not going there. Oh, Jesus. Jesus. Did I miss the Costco run? Yes.
Yeah. Where's my
amazing content? Okay, it says 4 minutes. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. This
okay.
Oh, I think it is. It is. Okay, guys, why am I doing this fucking shit? Like, here. What the fuck? It's moving!
Oh, another car?
I did it.
Oh.
Okay, good.
Whoa. That sounded so loud. What is going on?
I'm
My...
going this way. Guys. Oh my god.
What is going on? What?
Hopefully the guy's finding the right place. 5, 6, 3. 5, 6, 3. 5, 6, 3. 5, 6, 3. Holy shit! Where's my car? Dude, this is so sad. There's no car. You don't have a car. Chad, next time I'll never do this shit. I'll never do this. Who was against me to rent a fucking car? Ban them all. I'm
sorry. It is coming from. I'm sorry.
The eggs are fucking crushed.
Oh no. Wait, that's not good.
This is so sad. No, I don't think there's any more sad thing than this.
Just the eggs don't make it.
You went Costco, bought all of shit, and then you don't have a car to drive back. It's okay, guys. We learn. We learn our lessons.
She needs a hot cold bag. You need a bag that keeps cold things cold, and a hot bag.
Supposed to
keep
be
everything hot. That's
in
hot.
1 minute.
Or dry too. If you have like a dry bag, it's a bag that keeps everything dry from the moisture there,
right,
and a cold bag to put everything in
right,
to where it keeps cold.
Location.
But she's outside.
So hopefully
What?
the guy is nice. I should get a Premier car.
A Premier?
The food and chicken is cold.
Oh.
All right, Desi.
Good.
Thank you for letting me know that my chicken's gonna go cold, and I have a microwave to warm it up. Where is my car? Not my car. fucking Costco run.
See a woman like me. Oh wait. What do you mean cash?
Today I learned 2 things.
Okay, Dave.
You guys wanna know?
Okay, fine. Am I talking too fast? One, I'm talking too fast. Should I go slower? 就是我应该讲快一点嘛，就是讲慢一点嘛。Okay, should I go slower, please? Okay, again. Alright.
Why are people saying date?
Once again, exclamation mark parade. Okay.
What's going on right now?
Okay, so I'm about to walk 400 kilometers in 21 days. Okay, so what are the chances that I can finish it from 1 to 10? 1到10，你们觉得在21天内我走完400公里，就是台湾走遍台湾，你觉得有可能吗？ Okay, what do you guys think?
Maybe this is my car.
Yes. Yeah, it's far as fuck. But it's a challenge, alright? Because I want to show you guys that I'm more than just boobs. You know what I mean? I'm more than just boobs. Ever since I got fake boobs, guys just want to fuck me. But I want to be more than just a one-time fuck. Anyway, so I'm challenging myself to show you that I'm strong. WOL for that. Yeah, okay, that's all. 对的。没有，我就是我第一个走的地方就是恒春。I'm gonna start from 恒春。Alright. So the next thing is every single city. Okay, I'm gonna talk slower.
I just don't believe it. I think she's lying. I know you're lying. Good luck on your search.
Ooh. Let's switch to this. Oh, that's cool. Am I using the right weapon? No, idiot. Okay, let's see if that catches.
You know what it could be for me?
Oh my god,
I would need to change the color. What's it called? I would change the color aspect just for my eyes, because something's off with the game. The game looks fun, but like my eyes can't stand this configuration of color. I don't know, it's very weird. Nothing that crazy. I would change it to like ASC2, and so I could do that on my end via NVIDIA. You can adjust. You basically control how you want each game to run. It can have its own profile too. I'll just do it via NVIDIA, but I need to change the color. The game looks kind of fun. I'll watch it for a little bit, but something's wrong. My eyes can't watch the game because it's what's it called? I need to change it on mine right now. I can override. I can override my color grading, and I need to change this to something else.
I don't know what's going on, but alright. We're burning for some reason. Why is my wolf burning? I'm not sure. Is there water? Oh, okay, we're good. Danger.
Yeah, adjust video color and
like I'm
use NVIDIA settings. I need to cut something out. I need to either cut.
Blew up moon. I'm out of fucking arrows, so maybe.
I either need to plus the blacks or reduce the brightness. Let's reduce the blacks. So let's just reduce them really quick. So I'm going to do NVIDIA settings, reduce the blacks. I'm going to see what is happening. Oh my goodness, these programs are just. Okay. So what I did by removing. Dude, the game looks way better. Holy shit. You know what's so fucking crazy? Well, people won't understand this. I'll do this on my end. Oh, they can't see it. No fucking way. No, wait. Maybe it just needs to adjust. I'm gonna see if it adjusts on my other stream. Hold on. Yeah, you can see it. Nice. So by removing the color black, it like changed the way the game looks at night. So I went to my NVIDIA settings and I took my brightness down, not from 50%, I took my brightness down to 0. When I did that, what it's doing is it's subtracting black from the game. So then the color that's already there, the palette's already there, is already there. Holy shit, the game looks much better. I mean, that's just me. So let me put this back to 50%. I think it's gonna change really quick. Oh no, yeah, water needs a car. Maybe she does need a car. Sit there. Now if I adjust the contrast. Hold on. I do too much. Oh.
Is it really? Is actually Joey's birthday? No way, I think Chad is trolling. Where are my direwolves? It's tomorrow.
Oh.
Okay, let's fast travel real quick to see to here, and then let's catch things at night. I'm so excited. Hi, Snuggle. Because I feel like 5 years ago he was 33 or something. 40's nuts. Am I hungry? 39. About right. 39 years old. Lambs? Okay. 永远18岁. No. Guys, there's just like lambs. Okay. Lamb. 上海太大，打车都是170，哪有啊？ Usually there's a little fire guy around here, a little firefox. No worries. Little Vulpix look-alike.
Oh, if Joey wants to have kids, he should probably start thinking about it now, because he's 39.
Yeah, Chat think it's
Or he's already made his own decision.
Joey just has so much energy all the time. He doesn't act like that age, right? He has all the energy. It's crazy. How does he have so many? Lost over 10 million in 2 days. Did they really? He's 33 this year. Why? Because that was 4 years ago. Bro looks so young, and he doesn't even lose hair, which is fucking insane. After streaming for what? 7 years? Ooh. His hair is like growing more.
Who?
Yeah, we'll fast travel to that thing. Looking for Firefox. Oh, there's direwolves in this area. Asian guy? I've actually never seen direwolves here.
On 2%.
He's actually balding. But his hair already white. Oh, I didn't know that. 机场？那你机场你去哪里都远啊，你这个人。
That's true.
你难道住机场吗？每天？机场到学校我估计要200多元，150不够。Are men above 30 supposed to lose hair? Just for one specific Not really. Only if you work for, like what, IT? There's a meme that some guys working for IT, they're 25, but look
That's true.
like 40.
So I'm 20% Native American. Okay. That line of DNA goes back to China. And the lineage via 23andMe says I'm 2% Asian or Chinese.
I'm in IT. Oh God. Be careful of you losing hair. I don't even have a big feet. I didn't even see the little firefoxes that are like Jack.
You know
what I'm talking about, right? There used to be firefoxes. They have to use a lot of ring cells, right?
But it's the white side.
Like blood.
It literally is. It's the white side genes. I mean.
I need to wash my hands. Guys.
But it's the white side genes in family. Not so all of my all of my black genes, Native American, Latin, their hair is good. Their hair is good. It's only literally the white side of genes that causes baldness in the family. manners at 5%.
It's not hair. Don't stress. You don't lose hair. I feel like the worst thing is you lose so much hair already.
Oh, and also I have
Fuck yeah.
probably won the genetic lottery.
Well, fucking
So like myself and my brothers and sisters were essentially cancer free. So there's that too.
Fuck yeah.
We have 0 of 40 trace variants for cancer in our DNA, which basically makes us like cancer free. So myself and my brothers and sisters
already mapped that one?
basically won like the genetic lottery. And yeah, so I tend to think of myself as the prize. And so pretty much. And I have an IQ 138. There's that too. So yeah. And I clocked a 415 mile when I was like 13. I did 100 meters in like 10.2 seconds. I could do a mile and a half, and at one time I did 7:38. That was my fastest, and then I basically averaged out to about 8:30. But my fastest for a mile and a half was 7:38 clocked, and then like recorded, and then I hit like once I started hitting 8:04, 8:09, 8:12, 8:10, 8:30, and I started consistently hitting 8:30. That's when I knew I found my body's limit. People talk about sometimes in sports. There's how I'm hearing poly world stuff going on right now.
It's so funny.
Athletes talk about this. They say if you get injured, you have to find your new 80% or 90%, like whatever it is, that's your limit. So like I'm at my 90%. My injuries have taken away so much that I see how much I've lost in terms of strength, agility, capability. It's been like that for years, and so it just came with the time. So instead of hitting 7:38, I hit 7:38, 7:39, I hit 7:35, 7:34. One time I hit 7:28. I think the lowest I got was like absurd, you know. But it just for a mile and a half. Just saying. But I knew the moment I hit the 4:15 mile, 4 minutes 15 seconds a mile, I was just flying. Just flying. People don't understand when you're moving that fast. You're literally like you're flying through the air. You're just, you know, you're just gunning. You're just going. But the mile and a half was really fast. When I clock in at 7:38 for a mile and a half, everyone is like, they're like 2 minutes behind me, running. I'm just sitting there for 2 minutes waiting. Because you can't leave your unit. You're just chilling. So I started stretching and started working out even more. Oh, you know what I do too? I punch steel. My bad. I forgot. Right, to explain to people. So for my martial arts, my Japanese martial arts, we learned that they punch stone, like the karate members punch stone, and a lot of the karate members just to turn their bodies into weapons. You turn their bodies into weapons. So there's the kind of karate for the Japanese.
Yeah, it's not rude.
And then kenjutsu.
It's like joking around.
Kenjutsu is then taking weapon platforms like swords and staff, metal staff, metal sword.
I'm losing a lot of hair too. Do Chinese people laugh about people's look? Not look, but then, they would be straightforward. Like, wow.
But then I figured out was basically like, if they're punching stone,
no see, you look fat.
Or they're slapping stone.
Or long time no see, you got skinnier.
We're going.
I think skinnier for Chinese people standard is like a good thing.
If you just punch steel,
especially for girls, like wow,
then your whole body
seems like you lose
is
weight.
used to hitting like a harder object.
Because
steel can crush rock.
But
so now,
some people would just
in terms of close combat, they're used to striking stone. So some of the Japanese martial artists are pretty strong.
I see you last
Actually, they're vastly strong. Because if you hit them, they're just like a statue. If you hit them, they're just like a statue.
Laugh at each of like people's looks.
Marching forward, like juggernauts.
I don't go on the fucking streets.
But we have so many Americans. Basically, a lot of Japanese martial artists are basically Americans. So they were coming back to the States, and for decade after decade, we kept training our martial artists.
You just say that to your friends.
And they became stronger.
And your friends.
So here in the United States, we have like, I love it. Whenever the sensei, Yoshimitsu came over to the United States, he was impressed, like taken in awe with how much the American martial arts of our Japanese branch. He was just like, he wished that back in Japan, his people would show the same vigor and energy and enthusiasm and strength and agility as we do here in the States. We probably do have the best set of warriors. Like quite fucking literally. The Japanese sensei came over. 478 years lineage of Japanese has taught orally of martial arts, Sudo-ryu, Iai Kempo. and these are Shadow Masters. These are Grandmasters. This is Soke. Soke, and he's Grandmaster. There's only like 27 Sokes that are alive, Grandmasters in the martial arts. He basically just he already when he our American champion that won the tournament beat pretty much beat like France and Japan. Like Japan sent their best fighter, France sent their best fighter, Canada sent their best fighter, Mexico and Brazil sent their best fighter. Our American from LA, he's like an engineer, was just like was just brilliant, and he was the champion.
For today's stream. Thank you so much for the raid, Joey, at the freaking
and it was an American LA engineer dude that was our American champion that won the tournament. Beat the Japanese, beat the French, beat the Canadians, beat the Brazilians. Incredible. 5 days, 6 hours each day during the summer in LA, scorching hot heat.
And make sure you follow my socials, all of them.
It was so hot that even when you're in the gym,
thanks for watching today.
Oh.
I will see you guys very soon. Hopefully tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. Okay? Oh. Wait.
Do anything.
I think this guy drove the wrong way.
Huh?
Hey, wait. Oh. Is this my place? Anyways, I read someone. Maybe we need to make a U-turn now. Wait. 不是这里啊，我定位的是这里吗？哦，要进去，进在里面。对。Okay, this is good. Alright, see you guys. Thanks for watching. Thank you. Bye bye. I read you guys in a little bit. I need to. 这里转，哎，我看一下，这里转过，哎，会，哦，对，你要这样转过去，然后再回来，要不然这里好像是单行道。Okay, bye bye guys. Take care.
Without looking it up, chat. Tell us what the rules are.
Okay, what's the rules? Cooling. It is pretty cool. You threw massive rocks. Oh, someone from Sweden knows the rules. That makes sense. Yeah, I think they kind of cleaned it up or something. You want to build a snowman? Possible, yeah.
A lot of snow.
I've never built a snowman before. I think in South there's like really rare snow, but it's like a few drops. Oh, this is like a spa place. It looks super fancy. Like, chat can't see.
Chat can't see. That's classic. Good clip. Good clip. Go glue. Wait, is that sitting on ice? Wait, what? Is that sitting on ice? Wait, oh no, wait. What? Oh, those are keys. I was like, what?
So cute. Oh, you motherfucker, stop moving! Let's see if it's
That's funny. That's a really good shot. They got all the sculptures lit up.
Was your sound alert? Yeah, maybe. I think my Wi-Fi is dead again because it's too cold. Wow. What is this thing? It's like a just princess castle or something? Wait, what is this? A slide? Wait, is this a little slide? Oh, looks like a little slide. Can I slide down here? So should I slide down here?
What if you built a structure that naturally glides ice into its position? So instead of sculpting it, you already have a Winter Wonderland, but you shape the buildings in a way that you could just formulate the ice as it flows down the building and it shapes itself. So the building had, you can do it with plastic too. You can have plastic on the exterior to extend the life of the Wonderland, and you can also devise a device in between the wall layers that will then generate enough moisture to be frozen to the outside. So then the structure will always be in place. You don't have to keep rebuilding the structure. It'll just generate enough moisture on the outside of the structure, and that itself will freeze over and create an ice wonderland that'll look really wonderful and natural. Wouldn't that make more sense from an engineering standpoint? Right? Oh, I'm sorry. Humanity is stupid. Yeah. So that you don't have to dedicate so much money to, no offense, I mean, artists can keep doing what they do, but you can also keep a wonderland in place, and it'll always be effective because the building's going to generate enough moisture on the outside that it freezes over, the interior's intact, and it'll be utilized. You have lodges and bars, and look at Winter Wonderland. Artificially too, I think. It's kind of cool, right? Then all of a sudden down in LA, you can have snow at Disneyland. Oh, it would literally make you snow out of the thin air. By having the buildings have the technology built into the walls. So, yeah. People are like, what? The engineer device that'll create more moisture on the outside of the buildings. And you do it with plastic, because plastic can withstand the temperatures as they shift. Metal can't. They warp and bend. You'll see it on aircraft or spacecraft. If it's a metal hull, it bends. It warps, bubbles. Well, it's because metal is too tight. So, but if you have plastic kind of shells or plastic plates for the shell of an aircraft or spacecraft, it can withstand the warping of the condensation of water. It can actually create devices that can then generate, or if each shell was a plastic shell with water inside of it, then it would automatically generate the moisture itself and freeze over. And then you're just doing a simple process where you'd have tubes between each cell of plastic filled with water on the outside of the building, and you generate that or heat it up or cool it down or subtract heat, and then it would draw the moisture and then create a wonderland. So then you can always increase the plastic heat shells, and you can melt the ice too, in case of emergency or whatever case something happens. There's always a second mechanism in place. And then you can build drainage next to the buildings at the theme park. Right? Make sure the drainages are safe where little kids can't get their hands stuck. You make the drainage gates so thin and meshed that they can't even put their fingers through it. You can do it too. It's really simple. Basically, you can have this porous sponge material, and you can have layers of it. You can step on it. You can't even press through it, but it has just enough holes where water will go through it, and no one's hands can ever get caught in it because they're so small. But there's so many of them that it acts as a perfect drainage gate for like a theme park too. So you have all your safety mechanisms in place. So, yeah. You also do that. You should probably do it for spaceships too. Or like what? Yeah, like if you just had, a hot or cold controllable, what's it called? Wall of plastic, like a plastic shell, like a plastic shell, but interior of the plastic shell filled with water, or you liquid nitrogen, and you can either superheat it or cool it down. And the reason you want to heat it up just a little bit is to combat any kind of if you need an extra boost to go in a different direction. People are like, what? So if your engines go dead, right? And electricity goes dead, and the engines fail, or solar power fails, or the cell units fail, you need extra power, but you need to drift somewhere. Give them the capability to drift back to the Earth, so you can pop off a shell, and the popping off the shell creates a heated nitrogen that you can jettison off like one shell. And that momentum, that push, hopefully you can guide it and aim towards the Earth if you do it right, and get into the Earth gravitational pull. And then hopefully when you get into the Earth gravitational pull, any kind of spacecraft can then float back down to Earth, because you should have emergency parachutes that are mechanical that could be latched open. And people are like, what? You can have an interior hinge in case like a interior parachute as a hinge, so everything's mechanical, analog. So all I have to do is just open the glass, or shift and lever, or shift something over, Make it a plastic, easy, slidable, controllable. So plastic where it's just like one filament down, one filament opens, plastic door opens, which is like 2 pushes of a pin. Even 2 pushes of a pin, you can have 2 discs with a pin. So you just move the plastic pin. I guess hopefully if it's in free fall, you'd want to design where it doesn't affect any kind of inoperable free fall. Yeah, it has to be 2 discs in a pen. 2 discs in a pen will radiate force outwards. So it's 2 discs in a pen. You move the pen, 2 discs open up, and then the plastic door would open up. You just have a mechanical analog hinge, and when you just grab the hinge and you pull it down, you should open up release valve gates. 3 or 6 or more should open up. It should be 6 or 3 parachutes. Because in different sizes too. You can have smaller parachutes pop out first to try to stabilize, and the bigger parachute, as it pops out, tries to stabilize. And the whole point is to cut through the air. So if it's free falling, if the little, well, hopefully it's not free falling. Hopefully you're just gliding back to Earth. Hopefully you're gliding back to Earth in your craft. Emergency systems that should be built in to new aircraft, spacecraft, or SCs or ACs or AC-1s or SC-1s, spacecraft or aircraft ones. As they're flying back, hopefully you're just kind of gliding back into the atmosphere in case the engines fail. You're just kind of gliding in. Just picture this, you're just kind of gliding in. You space your aircraft, and then hopefully we'll have mechanical hinges that you can just grab and pull. Think of it like you're trying to open a trunk. You just pull on the lever, and your trunk pops open. You should have at least, 1, 2, 3, 4, either 3, like 1 on top, 2 on the sides, or 6. The reason there's 6 is because you might have like 3 in the back, like 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. Parachute, 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 parachute. Or if you float back down with 6 parachutes, or you have 3. There's 1, 2, 3. You have to be careful with that design. But the whole point is if you can still glide back in, and the parachute should keep the main engine afloat. So you have passengers in the front, with the engine in the back unit. Or if your passengers are on top, if your passengers are in the center, right, of any kind of aircraft, and the engine's in the bottom, it's too a little harder to envision. The passenger is the mouse, and the engine is the rest of the craft. You still need a way to kind of jettison the engine and just shoot out parachute. That's what people need to be designing for aircraft safety to protect. When you start building starcraft and aircraft, you should need to get the safety in place to convince people, hey, it's safe. But on top of that, when you have the vector thrust engines, you have the fusion generator, you have plasma turbines, and then we have our energy source, which are our fuel cells with limited energy. It's incredible. It's awesome. It's perfect. And I'll show that tech 17 years from now. And everything works perfectly. The vector thrust engines will never fail. Should never fail. But if you have 4, 6, or 8 of them, then you always have backups. So you always want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You want 8, or you want 16. You want 16 vector thrust engines, so there's 4 on each corner. And then if you have 4 vector thrust engines in each corner, they're each a separate engine. And they're perfect. You're going to have your flying cars. But the first thing you're going to start seeing are drones. You're going to start seeing little Star Wars droids and drones. AI attached to them, unlimited energy. Your family's going to have them, and they're going to last forever and go on to generations. Your family probably won't even really need more than a few droids because they could run a restaurant, work with you, cook with you, your droids. It's all coming really fast. So 30 years from now, our generation's going to have flying cars and Star Wars droids. AI robots walking around doing manual work, building homes, mining the asteroid field. But in the meantime, before we get there, there's an opportunity for people that mine coal fields. We need them in spacesuits to mine the asteroid field. Because the moment robots come along, all those jobs are gone. But you need to pay those people $3.8 million or $7 million a year because they're going 12 months out to space, 40 days out in space mining for however long they need to mine, and then come back 40-day flight back. So we eliminate the jobs of mining on Earth because